Astrological Advent Calendar, Day 15. Thank you for being here with me again. Yes, I am in a totally new location. This one was more planned than Malibu, so I have my microphone and my setup, but we'll be here for a couple of days. I wanted to talk to you about something today that is pretty rarely discussed in astrology because we love to know what the next thing is. And predictive astrology, horoscopes, stuff like that, it's so powerful, it's so interesting to know. To know what's coming up is good. But sometimes we forget that it's not just one day. There is something called applying and separating aspects. So that's what I wanted to narrow in for the astrology today. This is the transit of Mars square Neptune on the 5th of 2025. You can see that they aren't quite in a square aspect yet because the next day, check it out. There it is. There's that line, thin line square, which means it's within the orb of a square between the two of them. And this is the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10. Look how it's getting stronger. 11, 12, 13, 14. That's when we had the exact. And then the 15th. So today is the 15th, and you can see Mars has moved already into Capricorn, but the red line is still pretty thick. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And that's when we're out of this transit. Now here's the good news. The good news is that Mars is now in Capricorn, and I'm going to go into that more tomorrow. It'll feel totally different. So the entire process of this Mars-Neptune square is not just December 14th. It builds and then it blooms strong around the day or two, around the exact, and then it starts to wane, just like a full moon, it's just like a cycle, everything. So December 6th through December 21st, we'll still be experiencing this entire story of the Mars-Neptune square. Astrology is macro, right? We can all see there's a square between Neptune and Mars in these two signs, Sagittarius and Pisces, but how is it going to affect you? It depends on your chart. You can have a million astrologers say all sorts of things about the future, about an aspect or whatever. And you might just not even believe it because it might not come through exactly like that for you. So that's where we need to know what area of life is being activated. So for me, it's been a really remarkable few days where synchronicity has been at max top level. Like such a Neptune experience I had on Saturday where I went to the retirement home, and I'm going to tell you more about that in a day or two where we talk about Neptune more. And I had one of the most significantly spiritual moments of my life. Later that same day, I had such a huge conflict and friction and overwhelm and emotional breakdown that I've ever had in my life too. Two things on the same day, very Neptune, very Mars. And then yesterday driving up here, we left at about 2 a.m. to drive from San Diego area up to the Bay Area. And Sunday morning, so really a good day to drive, and there's no traffic or anything. Just can't stand LA traffic. Who can, right? That's not a hot take. But so we get to about Pasadena, and the fog is really getting hard to see. That's Neptune. The car is Mars and Sagittarius, right? We're plowing through all this and trying to get somewhere. The visibility was so bad you couldn't even see about 10 feet ahead of you. And then out of nowhere, we see brake lights. Everybody has to slam on the brakes, squealing. The car's like, it's terrifying. And so what happens is we are waiting, and the freeway, which was moving so quickly, is just parking lot. We're sitting there for over an hour. There had been a massive accident just a few minutes before we got there, like literally a few minutes. 3 or 4 cars, one was on fire, just spread across the entire freeway. So much so that, they had to shut down the whole thing. The first feeling is gratitude that we didn't leave 5 minutes or 10 minutes sooner. The second is empathy for the people that did have to go through that. When we started going again, we drove up into the mountains and the fog lifted. It was amazing. But when you come back down to go into the Central Valley of California, it was completely socked in with fog, and it looked as if it was the ocean. The rest of the entire trip, we were in fog. Once we got here and we got settled and we had some time, we needed to go to the store and get some things. So we went to Costco on a Sunday in December. If you know, you know. It is horrible. It's horrible. And the chaos was so insane in this particular Costco. I was actually trying to film a little bit just because I thought, wow, this is really emblematic of a Mars-Neptune square, how all these people are in one space, and the thing we're doing is this Christmas shopping and trying to prepare for something very spiritual, but it's very aggressive, very Martian. So there was this guy, older man, and somebody had left their cart in the middle of the row of Costco, or made the main thoroughfare. And he got so mad that he slammed his cart into that cart. Dude. And it hit me. And I was like, oh my God, this guy just hit me.
That guy just did a hit and run. That was not cool. Okay.
He just took off and disappeared. It didn't hurt really or anything. I just kind of shocked. And then later we went to the mall, this crazy big mall that's here. And I don't hardly ever go to the mall, but holy smokes, another Christmas, Christmas thing. Everybody's there shopping for their holidays, and what chaos, what an enormity of human experience all happening at once. I walked by a man's fighting with his wife or whatever, maybe it was his girlfriend, but fully just in front of everybody. Thousands of people just packed into this place. I don't know, just everything you could possibly imagine of human experience, of chaos, babies crying, kids screaming, people carrying way too much stuff, signs that say you can't wait here, you can't do this, you can't do that, signs from the fire department about code and how many people can be in a store at a time. And I just had this massive overwhelm of feelings. And then out of nowhere, I came around the bend, because it's this big loop, this mall, and I saw a crystal shop, and I was like, beeline. I just went straight to it. Just being in that space with all those beautiful rocks and crystals, and that energy shifted completely. And it was another Mars-Neptune experience. That's what I mean. Once you start understanding astrology, you can start compartmentalizing and accept life as it is unfolding, instead of feeling more anxiety, like, ooh, I don't like this. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. Okay, you have to be in this moment that you're in. Here's the curriculum. Here's the code that you're living in. And you can just take a deep breath and be like, this too shall pass. Crystal Advent calendar for today. I'm very excited for this one. I am going to put my glasses on in advance. Oh, okay. Interesting. This is the raw amethyst. Deep intuition, spiritual peace, ideal for altars or meditation corners. I think, this place is kind of sparse. It could use some crystals. Could use this amethyst. I really love the way that they have raw and smooth. In this, there's a couple of different examples of this, but we start like this, not smoothed out yet by experience. And as we grow, as we learn, as we evolve, we move into a smoother version of ourselves. And that astrology really does help with that. It really, really does. The smooth version is peace, intuition, and spiritual growth. The raw is deep intuition, something a little bit more authentic to a natural expression of the rock. Something to think about today. Well, thank you for being here on this little bit of a different Advent calendar, but that's what Advent calendars are all about. You never know what you're going to get. That's part of the fun, I guess. All right, tomorrow we will be talking about Mars and Capricorn. I'm excited about it. It's good energy. I like Mars and Capricorn. It's good stuff. I like you just the way you are. Just let that settle in for a minute, just the way you are. Okay? Okay. I'll talk to you soon.